Georgia law has been incredibly misrepresented. That's not me saying that. That would be the Washington Post, who gave President Biden 4 Pinocchios for his false allegations about the law. The president said that they were restricting voting hours. The Washington Post article points out that on net, there's increased hours to vote. They're not arguing facts, so now they're slandering motivation. They're saying that, they must have wanted to restrict access, and so therefore they put this law in. But for example, on absentee ballots, it enlists best practices from Minnesota, a blue state. So instead of using a signature match, they've thrown that out, and they are now using that which is from Minnesota, a driver's license number, a birth date. The state of Georgia is offering free state IDs, so anyone who wants to vote can vote. It's the same thing you would need to get on an airplane. They are just saying, okay, if you're going to do it by absentee voting, then just maybe put your ID number on here so at least we know that you have that ID. It actually expands options for early voting. It makes it law that there has to be drop boxes. By the way, before COVID, there were never drop boxes. Without this legislation, that temporary rule to have them would go away. But now it puts into law that there has to be drop boxes. So we're seeing a pattern of rhetoric that is trying to disparage a law which objective analysts have said has more early voting days and an easier way to early vote than states like Delaware, New York, and Connecticut. It really seems a pattern of rhetoric from the left that just is attempting to undermine faith in the election, and that's unfortunate. It is fair to ask people to produce an ID. In Louisiana, if you don't have a picture ID, you can show a bill that was addressed to your address. Everybody has an ID or a bill that they can show somebody. It's a really low bar, but it still seems a reasonable thing to do. As regards to the corporate wokeness, if you will, when Delta will not let you on a plane unless you have an ID, technically TSA, but Delta follows their regulations, and then they object to this, it seems as if there's something more to their objection than an actual problem with the law. It seems it's a problem with the optics. And that goes back to what I said earlier. The optics have been distorted. That's not Bill Cassidy saying it. That is the Washington Post.